We've got a verdict in the Water Park Syrian refugee sexual assault trial. I'm in Edmonton at the law courts, unpacking the judge's decision for you. Not guilty on all 12 charges. That's the judge's decision today for Solomon Haj Solomon, a Syrian refugee and father of 6 who came to the country December 2015. He stood accused of 6 counts of sexual assault and another 6 counts of sexual interference. Now, the charges are all stemming from just one night at West Edmonton Mall's World Water Park, February 4th, 2017. 6 girls between the ages of 13 to 15 accused Haj Solomon of sexually touching them in the wave pool. Court heard 2 full weeks of testimony beginning in January. The trial was drawn out because the accused, despite being in the country for over 2 years, still requires full word-for-word Arabic to English translation. Now let's talk a little bit about what happened in the courtroom today in room 266. Between 40 and 50 bikers showed up once again to support the 6 minor victims. Urban bulldogs against kid abuse and guardians of the children filled the courtroom. They lined the walls at the back of the courtroom, and then they waited in the lobby adjacent to the courtroom, and then in the hallway. They spilled all the way out into the hallway. Fletcher, the therapy dog, made another appearance too. Now, both the defense and the Crown agreed that indeed an assault happened to the girls that night at the water park. The issue before the judge was simply identification. The judge said that she could not be sure, beyond a reasonable doubt, that Haj Solomon was the man who molested the girls at the water park. The judge said there was no confirmatory evidence that the person pointed out by the girls was the person responsible for the molestations. The judge also said there was no evidence that the person followed by mall security and lifeguards from the pool was the person responsible for the molestations. And the judge listed several instances where she was concerned that there was some sort of cross-contamination of the witness evidence caused by the girls talking to each other on the night of the molestations and in the days leading up to and including during the trial. The judge also expressed concern that no photo lineup was done during the police interviews with the girls. Police said at the time during trial ID was not an issue, but today in the courtroom it was the only issue. The judge said this suggested an air of complacency that has no place in a criminal investigation. The judge also said that there was no physical evidence linking the accused to the crime. Police did not find the goggles the girls described the man as wearing or having with him that night, and police did not try to look for those goggles until a few days after the initial complaints from the girls. The judge also cited the fact that Haj Solomon is from a different cultural background from the 6 complainants as a reason to call into question their identifications of him. The judge explained that it can be difficult for people to discriminate features when the accused is in a cultural group all possessing the same features and be in a cultural group different from the witnesses. The judge also questioned the girls' IDs from the witness stand, explaining that few people in the courtroom were of a different cultural background, just the accused and his Arabic interpreter, and that may have tainted their identifications of him before the judge. The judge said it would be an injustice to convict Haj Solomon, but the judge does believe that something did happen to the girls that day, but she cannot be convinced that it was the accused who committed those crimes against them. As the verdict was being read, the families of the girls left the courtroom in tears. Now, as I rushed off to file my story, I stopped and talked to a few of the bikers who showed up to support the girls. Not many of them wanted to come on camera with me, but they did say that they understand why the judge made her decision, but they feel terribly for the girls who were denied justice in the courtroom today. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. To see all of my prior reports from here at the Edmonton Law Courts on the Syrian refugee sexual assault trial, go to the Rebel.media.